And the topic of this video is the hardest decision men have to make in their relationships. So one of the hardest decisions that I see that men have to make is that their plan, they know how to get things done. And if they start doing it the way that brings results, it's going to create a lot of friction in the relationship. And it's going to create so much friction that I think there's like a 90% chance, it depending how the relationship started, but I think like 90% of the time, if the man sticks to his plan and does everything right, like the way it's supposed to, it's going to break up the relationship 90% of the time.
Really? So, okay, let me just so that I can understand. So, if a man has a plan, he's on his course, and he's in a relationship with a woman, and regardless of how it started, if he sticks on his plan 90% of the time, like she's going to leave?
Right.
Okay.
So this is what happens. Let's say the guy's in a relationship with a girl and he's not getting respected. He's not getting treated right. They're not having, they're not sleeping together.
No bed fun?
No bed fun and stuff like that. So the guy is kind of like, well, I'm kind of miserable, whatever. He gets to a point where he finally says, you know what? I'm just going to do what's right. What I like, he starts becoming a little bit, let's say, taking care of himself first. Okay. And a guy naturally will take care of himself first means that he's going to get his act together. So what he's going to do be like, you know what? I'm going to start working on my fitness. I'm going to start watching what I eat. Because he says, if I take care of myself and I'm healthier, that's a better future for me. So he says, oh, he starts working on himself. He starts doing, and then the girl's like, why are you going to the gym? What are you doing? Guilt him, shame him, and stuff like this.
Who are you trying to attract?
Yeah, he gets to a point where he's like, you know what? It doesn't matter what I do. She's always bitching. If I go to the gym, she's bitching. And if I look like shit, she's complaining. Right. So it's like no matter what I do.
You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't.
Right. So it's like,
so you're like, I'm just going to take care of myself.
Because there's a positive benefit. Sure. So like the guy does it and he's like, you know what? I'm going to start taking care of my finances. I'm not going to go out to eat like what she wants to. I'm just getting fatter. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. So he starts saving money. He starts being productive. He starts getting in shape. He's starting to look more attractive. Maybe other girls are starting to look his way. She doesn't like it. It's because they're growing apart.
Right. That gap is increasing.
They're growing apart. So most of the time, the reason that doesn't work out is because she's used to being catered to. And now he doesn't cater to her.
Right.
So now he's getting his stuff straight.
And he's focused on more of necessities versus just maybe desires.
Like actual value.
Like, yes. As opposed to just keeping her happy wife.
So like he doesn't care about sex with her anymore. He does this, he does that, he does whatever he does. He's a good man. He does whatever he does and he starts to grow. And you start to see it and she starts complaining more. And then he starts to realize, you know what? After I did all these good things, sometimes like 10% of the time, the girl would be like, oh, you know what? I'm going to improve with him. She starts eating better. She starts taking care of finances. She starts doing, and then
she's like, oh, let me keep up with this guy. He's got.
And then she'll start initiating.
A lot of times too, she's like, he's got his head on right now. Now she's like, oh, this is someone that I can admire and look up to. So yeah, she wants to keep up because she knows if she does, then she has a better chance.
But that's a 10% chance in my opinion.
Yeah, most women, they get stuck in their ways when they're getting like spoiled or entitled or whatever. And the man tries to shift that dynamic. No, most women are like, I don't need that shit. And then
their solution is I'll just get another man.
Well, exactly. Like they're like, I don't need to put up with this from you. Right. If you're not going to give me what I want, I know that there's another simp out there that will. So I'll just go find him.
That's right. So what happens is sometimes they shift and they improve with him. But most of the time the girl was being catered to and she liked that treatment where she was under control. Right. And what's going on is ruining the relationship. She doesn't have control anymore. So he starts realizing, hey, I'm getting results here. I'm getting my money straight. I'm getting my body straight. I'm looking better and all this stuff. Yeah. And she's not supporting. He starts to realize I'm not the problem. She's the problem. And that's when guys file for divorce.
That ungrateful witch.
So that's when he files for divorce.
Or he's the one that initiates the separation.
Yeah, and that's including having kids in the marriage. Oh, yeah. So that's what happens when the guy gets his stuff straight.
Yeah, because when a man starts to get his stuff straight, it's like, yeah, he might have killed the marriage, but he's saving his life.
That's right. He is saving his life because he's not going to get that time back. And sometimes that's why guys divorce. They realize, man, it was better that I divorced. It came cheap. I should have done it sooner. Yeah. They didn't come to the realization they can do a lot better without her, but that the divorce happened. So sometimes that's what it is. Okay. Good thing that sometimes she thought she could do better and divorce him, and then it opened his eyes. Right. Sometimes that works. The other way, the 10% that does work when he follows her, I think it's where it was, how did the relationship start?
So, hold on. You said the other 10% where he follows her?
Where she follows him.
Okay.
So like say he gets his stuff straight.
Yes.
And she kind of like, she starts getting in shape. Yeah, yeah. She says, oh yeah, let's get the money. Hey, let's get the.
She gets on board with the plan, the goals, the mission. Absolutely. Okay.
10% of the time that happens.
Yeah, I understood.
when that happens, I believe it's because the actual relationship started genuinely,
Mm.
where she adored him.
Yes.
So there we go again, adored him, or he was a dominant, she was a submissive.
He was the
She
leader.
thought she was getting a better deal than he thought that he was getting a better deal.
Yes.
So she chose him,
In the
and
beginning, yeah.
he chose her in the beginning.
Yes.
And what happens is sometimes they get married, and then he wants to. It's like babying your kids. It's like spoiling your kids. It feels good to spoil them.
To take care of
So that's
them
what
or
men do
indulge.
sometimes. They spoil their woman, and then they make them brats.
Yeah.
They get entitled,
Yeah.
and that's why she doesn't respect the guy anymore when they're in a marriage.
Right, because
That's what
she's
happens.
like, I can just do whatever I want. He's a pushover, and
Yeah,
so a lot of
she
women lose
treats
their
him.
respect.
He treats her good, and she takes him for granted.
Absolutely.
So when the dynamic started, when she was a true adorer, a true submissive, and when he does that, she'll go back and be like, "Oh, that's the guy I fell in love with.
I've been waiting for you.
That's
Where
right.
have you been, my
That's
love?"
right.
Yeah.
So that's
true.
when it happens. But if we're like, "Oh, she did adore me in the beginning, and then I changed, and she didn't follow." No, she was pretending.
Yeah.
She was pretending. She was letting you be the dominant. She was letting you be the alpha,
think-
but you were the beta.
you
She was
think you're the
tricking you.
alpha.
She was deceiving you. She was like, "I need a provisioner. I need somebody to get married. I need to have somebody kids. You're it. I'll make you feel like you're the alpha until I get what I want. Once I get what I want, now I'll give you what I want, when I want, how I want, or else." And bam, divorce. She
Golden
cashes in.
parachute.
So in other words, you're going to be my workhorse. You're going to be my slave. You're going to do everything I tell you because I have control, or else. And then when she loses that control, she's all fine. That's why she separates, because she's so used to having power, and she wants to have power and
She
no
can't
responsibility.
Yeah.
Because that's most relationships are. When something good happens, she'll take credit.
Yeah.
And when something bad happens,
It's
she'll
your
blame
fault.
it on the man.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Very true.
That's the whole dynamic there. That's why it's the biggest decision that the guy's going to make. He's going to make that big decision of actually carrying out his plan, and he has a lot of invested. So in order for him to pursue his dreams, it's going to cost him probably a 90% chance of losing half of his stuff, having to pay alimony, and having to pay child support. And the earlier you realize it, guys, that you're in a bad relationship,
the cheaper it's going to be.
the cheaper it's going to be. So you can start getting your act together. And if she really admired you in the beginning, when she saw she was the submissive, truly the submissive, then she'll change with you. If she doesn't change with you, she was just pretending. And good thing you found out before it got too late. So the sooner you do this, the sooner you get on your plan, the
It's
better.
kind of like getting your ducks in a row, and you're going to be like benefit kind of one way or another. It might be a little costly depending on
it takes time.
How long it takes you to figure out how to get your ducks
It
in a
could
row.
take maybe, I think, a year and a half.
But it's one of those things where, like you said, it's the biggest decision because it's so impactful. Because if you picked the wrong person, we were talking about this earlier about how when you were studying relationships when you were younger, that it was like 90% of your satisfaction or happiness has to do with the quality of your relationships.
I'm not sure if it was 90%,
but
the
it
majority.
was like up there, right?
Yeah.
It was high.
Because let's take the time that you spend with a significant other. That's the percentage that it affects you. That's the biggest impact. So like, let's say you meet somebody. How much of their life how much time are you gonna spend with them? And not even that, like say if you don't spend time with them, how much time are they gonna affect you? So like say you're in a relationship and you're working from a 9 to 5 and you see them after work and on the weekends. You'll be like, oh, okay, I don't really get affected. No, yeah, you do. The reason you're working from the 9 to 5 or whatever is usually to sustain that relationship. So even if you don't have them with you, they're affecting you 100% of the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
So it's how much do they affect you? Just because they're not with you doesn't mean they're not affecting your behavior.
Right. It doesn't mean that they're not having an impact on your current decisions. So the one taking care of yourself and what type of relationship you want to have a good life.
So that's what we think, guys. Let us know what you guys think. Put in your comments, share, like,
subscribe.
save, subscribe,
everything.
Download, whatever you want to do.
Thanks.